fire, what do you truly desire? Do you wish to build a family or an empire? Set fire to the life that you knew and journey through. Let the flames of burning bridges be a light for you. I'm late for a day with my maker. Red Queen called the Undertaker. I'm a suicide king with this hand on the saber. Pinning tragedies on paper, I'm a madman. Don Draper, curious and curiouser. Every night I miss a smoking swishes with caterpillars and build a lizard. I'm the Knight of Cups, drinking with the March hair. Giving no fucks, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, one day you'll regret your mistake. The truth you forsake, love screaming like a mandrake. Chasing limerence, feigning ignorance and begging forgiveness. You never wanted love, you wanna love experience. Delirious, lost in a conscious dream. Was it true love or just a dream?
Alice in Wonderland, discarded the heart in my hand, but love can understand. Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, discarded the heart in my hand, but love can understand. Alice in Wonderland.
And we are back. Again, big shout outs to my boy Flowwood. You can check out his music, like I said, on all major platforms. Apple Music, and anywhere you can find music, you can find him. You can go to his website as well, flowwood.com. That's FLOOWOOD.com. And one more time, big shout outs to him for being the official music of episode 140 of the World Wrestling Podcast. And again, shout outs to everybody who's tuned in tonight. Thank you guys so much. We had my girl Samantha in the chatty, as well as my boy Josh Branch. Anybody else who wants to pop in, feel free. We do not bite too hard. Just hit that little chatty button, say hi, and you will get a shout out right here live on the World Wrestling Podcast. But moving on, we have our Fastlane results. I gotta say, this pay-per-view was pretty, I'll use the words Josh Branch told me in the, while we were talking before the show. This pay-per-view was pretty lackluster, to say the least. Pretty much every match was predictable. There was really no big surprises that had me buzzing or anything like that. CBS Sports gave the pay-per-view overall a B+. I am going to highly disagree with that, and I'm going to give this pay-per-view a solid C-. There was a couple goodish matches, but like I said, nothing that was like I was like hopping to talk about. In the kickoff show, we had the New Day defeating Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Lana interfered, and while the referee was distracted, Woods was able to, Woods and Big E were able to land their up, down, down finisher, to pick up the win. This match, they rated a C+. I will agree with that. Josh Brandt says he gives the pay-per-view a C. Like I said, I'd give it a C-. Really wasn't that great of a pay-per-view. We had the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. The Usos would defeat The Miz and Shane McMahon via pinfall. The Miz ended up going for a frog splash. ended up catching Jimmy Uso's knees, who then rolled him up as a finish to the match, and the Usos would defend their titles. After the match, the Miz helped Shane McMahon out of the ring. They were in the Miz's hometown. The Miz's dad was right there at ringside. They embraced with the Miz's dad. And then, out of nowhere, Shane McMahon would turn heel, clotheslining the Miz from behind. He would then proceed to beat down the Miz while taunting the Miz's dad before choking the Miz out on the floor. To add some insult to injury, he grabbed the Miz's dad by the mouth and ended up pushing him after telling him, "That's your son." So, like I said, this was pretty predictable. I talked to a few people this week leading up to the Fastlane pay-per-view, and we were all in agreement that we believe that Shane McMahon was going to go heel and turn on the Miz. I knew this tag team wouldn't last very long, and this is definitely going to lead into a Shane McMahon versus the Miz match at WrestleMania. That's what I'm calling right now. I hope they put a stipulation like a street fight or something like that. Something that fits both of them. Shane McMahon, as you know, he likes doing that coast to coast with the trash can. The Miz is pretty solid in street fight environments as well. So I think this match would do good for both of them if they added some stipulation like a street fight or something like that. Because we all know that this match is going to happen at WrestleMania. At least I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. The Miz versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. And I think the Miz will end up winning that match, to be quite honest. But moving on, Josh Brandt says Shane versus Miz is a terrible match. I mean, you know it's going to happen. That's why I'm saying, because Shane turning heel on the Miz, they're not just going to leave it at that. We're on the road to WrestleMania. They're gonna add this match to the WrestleMania card. Like I said, WrestleMania is a long pay-per-view. I think it's like 5 hours now. So they have to they got to fill it somehow. In a normal match, I agree this would be a terrible match. But if you added, like I said, a street fight aspect, no holds barred, make it a table match, add some kind of stipulation, and I think that makes it a little bit better of a match. Then we would have the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Asuka would defeat Mandy Rose via pinfall to retain the title. Sonya Deville was trying to distract her early on. It would actually cost Mandy Rose the match in this short, uneventful match. This match was I don't even know what to say, man. This was a bad match, man. Asuka ended up hitting Mandy Rose with a stiff kick to the chin for the 1-2-3 to defend her title. Mandy Rose would then shake off multiple attempts by Deville to apologize as the two were walking up the ramp. So could this be the end of the Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose friendship? We'll just have to wait and see. But this match, CBS Sports rated it a C. I'm going to rate this match a big fat F for fucking terrible. There's nothing really to talk about in this match. So with that, I'm going to move on. The New Day would confront Vince McMahon. They were pretty pissed off. Xavier Woods and Big E told Vince McMahon that Kingston should be added to the match, that it should be a triple threat match. Vince McMahon smiled and agreed and said it should be a triple threat match for the WWE title, and would bar the New Day from ringside, and said that match would go on next. Kofi Kingston came to the ring, was out there waiting for Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens to be announced, but instead, the ringside staff came out and told the ring announcer they did introduce that it would be a 2-on-1 handicap match, and Kofi Kingston would go 2-on-1 against the Bar. Once again, Kofi Kingston getting screwed by Vince McMahon. There was an expected level of boos throughout. Kofi Kingston would hold his own for a while through the 2-on-1 beating. And actually, at one point during the match, we got a "This is boring" chant from the crowd. Kingston was able to snuff out the chants briefly. He started looking like he was going to come back, but in the end, the 2-on-1 was just too much for Kofi, and the Bar would end up double teaming Kofi. They teamed up for a double white noise to finish Kofi Kingston. And to add insult to injury, they stood on him during the count. This was probably one of the better matches of the night. Like I said, Kofi Kingston's red hot right now. CBS Sports rated this a B-. I'll go ahead and agree with that rating. It wasn't that terrible of a match. I believe this is going to lead into Kofi somehow getting into the title match at WrestleMania. I believe Kofi's finally going to get his WrestleMania moment, and he'll pick up the title at WrestleMania. We then had the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. We had the Revival going against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, as well as Aleister Black and Ricochet. The Revival would end up winning this match, defending their Raw Tag Team titles. It was, if you haven't seen Ricochet, he's a high flyer. Ricochet probably stood out more than the rest of the competitors in this match due to his insane aerial ability. Not only did he take out all four of his competitors by hitting a Hurricane Run on Scott Dawson off the top rope and onto the floor, Ricochet followed it up by clearing the ring with an insane splash onto Roode outside. However, the Revival caught Gable with the Shatter Machine shortly after and was able to pick up the 1-2-3 for the win. CBS Sports rated this a B+. I'll agree, this was probably my match of the night. I'm a huge fan of both Aleister Black and Ricochet. Together, they are going to raise hell in the tag team division.